Marines, this is Commander James speaking. We have cleared the interplanetary gateway between Earth and Strogos. In exactly 3 hours, Operation Alien Overlord will commence. As I speak to you, your pods are being fueled, and all systems brought online. Activate your field computers. The following intel brief will provide you with your military objectives, terrain information, arsenal and equipment details, and enemy analysis. Never before has there been a greater challenge to life, liberty, and civilization. This is a crusade in which we will accept nothing less than victory. No matter how long it may take us to overcome the Strog's barbaric assault, the people of Earth in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. Today we will make very certain that this form of barbaric treachery shall never endanger us again. With confidence in you, and with the unbending determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God. So go forth and kick ass, soldiers. Welcome to Hex. In this channel, we are going to talk about PC games in general. I hope you enjoy this content. And without further delay, let's start this video. Let's go back to a time when games were simpler, and the world was simpler too. Today, the video game industry has changed completely, in some cases for the worse. But I think from my point of view that there is hope for this industry. It's been a long time since I've played this game. We're talking about years ago, and I can't forget the music, gun sounds, enemies, and the fantastic art direction of this game. In this video, I want to go back over those elements that made Quake 2 great. In this version, I am using the KM Quake 2 MOD to incorporate some extra graphics. The main thing that stands out about Quake 2 is its gameplay. It is a fast, dark, violent game. ID Software was really a master at perfecting this. We embark on a chaotic journey in a universe that is falling apart, and the fate of humanity weighs on our shoulders. A humanity that finds itself in its darkest hour against a sinister alien race that seeks to end the human species. Our mission as a Marine is to fight against hordes of abominations that only seek to kill us. Our goal is to survive, follow the marked objectives, and exterminate all the hostile forces that cross our path. That is all we need to know, and that is enough. Strogos is a hostile planet. This is a mechanical world with industrial landscapes where there is only alien machinery. It's a cold and desolate world, where one misstep means a horrible death. One section in which Quake stands out is the ambient lighting. As an additional note, if there is something to mention, it is the simplicity of the 90s shooters. Somehow the limited technological resources of that time managed to generate a very particular aesthetic. Strogos is a big maze. Each level is a maze where the player navigates with adrenaline towards the objectives, and in many cases we will have to return to certain areas to access a specific door. As we enter a new sector, the Strogs will use powerful and fearsome enemies. The main campaign is relatively short. Once we enter the palace sector, we must eliminate the warlord Macron, leader of the Strogs. And that's all for now. In this adventure, we have a large arsenal of weapons. Each one of them fulfills a specific role. It depends on the player when to use each one of them. First, we have the blaster, a weak weapon in general. Its rate of fire is also bad. We are only going to use this weapon when we run out of ammunition available for other, more important weapons. It is a desperate last resort. Then we have the shotgun. Now we are serious. This weapon is powerful, and it is our first great addition to our arsenal. It's only going to be replaced with the super shotgun. The super double-barrel shotgun causes a lot of damage and consumes a lot of ammunition. It is a weapon efficient and lethal that we are going to use until the end of the campaign. We continue with the machine gun. It stands out for its firing speed and is perfect for taking out enemies at close to medium range. The next thing is the chain gun. This is a beast of a weapon. The only bad thing is that it consumes huge amounts of ammo at short notice, and the rate of fire is insane. Another weapon to mention is the hand grenade. I have to admit that I have hardly used it. It can be useful for some situation, but in general I do not recommend it. And if we talk about grenades, we have to talk about the grenade launcher, and this is worth it. This weapon allows you to launch grenades that can impact when they hit an enemy. More than once, it saved my skin. Another great addition is the missile launcher. This weapon deals great damage in a specific area and allows you to eliminate groups of enemies with relative ease. It is one of my favorites. Continuing with the list, next is the railgun. This weapon is absolute perfection, perfect for covering long distances, and is practically an icon in the universe of Quake 2. The railgun stands out in multiplayer games. It is a beast, one of my weapons of preference. We continue with the Hyper Blaster. Speed is what makes this weapon stand out. It faces the same problems with the chain gun. It consumes a lot of ammunition, but it is excellent. It must be admitted that it's a fun weapon to wield. Finally, we have the BFG-10K. It represents the last weapon, the most powerful weapon in the game. It is rare to come across this weapon, but when that happens, the enemies have no chance. To conclude this video, I want to briefly talk about multiplayer. Unfortunately, I couldn't find online games, so I can't say much about it. But I understand that at the time, this was the main attraction of Quake 2. Currently, there is the possibility to play with bots, so we will never get bored. There are always games to play and enjoy. There's even a cooperative mode to play the campaign with multiple players. Undoubtedly, what raised the popularity of Quake 2, and which caused it to still maintain small but faithful communities around the world, was the fact that it was highly modifiable, and the innumerable mods that appeared, both for one and several players. The retail version of Quake 2, v3.14, came with limited multiplayer capability. Although it is true it allowed organizing cooperative games, participants connected to each other, playing as a team and trying to beat the levels and enemies of the game of up to 4 people over the internet and up to 16 players in deathmatch games, Death Combat. It wasn't until the release of the final update, v3.20, that Quake 2 revealed its true potential. 8 arenas or maps designed exclusively for multiplayer deathmatch were now included. In addition, some versions of the patch included a new game mode called CTF, Capture the Flag, which offered a new dimension of multiplayer entertainment, pitting 2 teams against each other to guard the flag of their color, and at the same time once capture the opponents. This triggered the appearance of dozens of modifications with the most diverse rules, game styles, and presentations. Some of the most notable and successful ones were Rocket Arena, Holy Wars, Vortex, Action Quake 2, and D-Day, among many others. Nobody can deny the enormous legacy that Quake 2 left to the industry, and especially to the FPS genre. No matter how much time passes, this game is a gem. Quake 2 has aged very well and has stood the test of time. I'm going to rate this game 8.5. I consider it a classic. It is a fun and addictive game that can run on virtually any PC system. Another important point to mention is the infinity of mods that exist for this game. Our story, as Bitterman, has ended. The Strogs were defeated by a single Marine. The assault was successful, but the Strogs story didn't end there. In the next few videos, we will cover the rest of the installments in the Quake series in detail. I hope you liked this short video, and if you find the content appropriate, please like it and maybe consider subscribing for future videos. That's all for now. Signing off.